I'm gonna be absent today. Something happened. I'm not coming in.
I'm sick.
So I'm not gonna be at work, okay?
One of the most common performance issues when managing employees across all businesses and industries is attendance and absenteeism.
Grow up leadership.
The CDC estimates employee absenteeism in the United States has an annual impact of $225.8 billion to our economy. So absenteeism is a problem. Over my 15 years in management, supporting large teams with up to 80 staff reporting to me, I've had countless performance conversations, many about attendance. I'll share some ideas to create accountability and ultimately improve employee absenteeism. The first and most important step is setting clear expectations. Make your attendance expectations for all staff clear and easy to not only understand, but also easy to track. I see many employers who struggle with employee attendance have attendance policies, but they're not necessarily expectations that are clear, or they have multiple definitions of what even an absence is. Our policy is for all employees to consistently be to work on time, working as scheduled. Repeat absences may result in corrective action up to termination. The problem here is it's not clear what an absence actually is and how many you can get before it's considered a problem. So first, clearly define what an absence or occurrence is. Essentially, this would be an unscheduled absence. It's not about why the employee was not there, but the simple fact that they were scheduled to work and were not present. This expectation should be thought of separately from how you code or pay the absence with sick time or paid time off. And that's oftentimes where things get confusing. That's again the pay component and still an unscheduled absence or occurrence. I will say there are situations where an unscheduled absence is excused with things like FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act, but in general, an unscheduled absence, meaning they did not get the time off approved ahead of their shift, is an occurrence. Once you have established what an absence or an occurrence is, you need to clarify what is meeting expectations and what is not. At my previous employer, we had a simple tracking process, allowing up to 2 occurrences per rolling quarter, or every 3 months. You essentially look at the current month you were in, along with the past 2 previous months. As you move to a new month, that previous 3rd month drops off. Again, you're allowed up to 2 occurrences per rolling quarter. Anything over that would be not meeting the expectation. Next, you make clear the potential next steps when employees are not meeting the standard. We tracked occurrences in a spreadsheet for each employee, and when employees were not meeting the standard for 3 months in a row, this would often lead to some form of corrective action. We had clear feedback expectations each month to ensure awareness and understanding of the policy. Now, you could and should be understanding and flexible. Things happen in life. Life is not easy. I will say it's much easier to be flexible on a clear expectation than to hold staff accountable to a wishy-washy, unclear expectation. When discussing attendance and relaying feedback about attendance performance, it's important to have a clear, concise purpose and larger impact, explanations that tie to the larger inspiring mission. So impact to the team, the customer, the business. Again, you want to be clear about the policy and expectations and how staff are performing, but the reason we're expecting this is not because this is our policy. You need to articulate the larger purpose and importance and impact of having employees be present to work when scheduled. With attendance and absenteeism, and really with any area of performance, feedback should be timely and straightforward, making it clear what they are currently performing, and if they are off track, what needs to be done to get back on track. If employees are still demonstrating challenges with meeting attendance expectations, you have some flexibility to decide to move to corrective action, as you may consider their past attendance, current life challenges that may be making consistent attendance a real challenge for them, and their overall performance as an employee. In my experience, it's good to be flexible and understanding with the challenges of life. However, accountability is important to not only to the business, but also to your team, to you, and even to that individual employee. Making exceptions and flexibility in your expectations can sometimes lead to taking advantage of, and you have to quickly weigh impact to the team and the business. Most of the time, again, in my experience, having a clear conversation about accountability to attendance expectations with a formal written warning, corrective action, performance improvement plan, whatever you call it, typically emphasizes the seriousness of the employee's current performance and need to improve. And in my experience, again, they quickly get back on track. In Employees notice when their peers are routinely not showing up to work. Not holding staff accountable to a clear policy that others are abiding to will dramatically demotivate successful and high-performing staff, while also diminishing your credibility as an effective leader. Again, be clear about expectations, share impact, be flexible and understanding with the realities of life, and hold staff accountable when performance doesn't improve. I hope this helps with your attendance. Now check out this next video on effectively delivering feedback.